Whoa!
That was amazing. That was nice.
That was a fun little rock jam that we
Yes.
just had. So today it's all about Les Pauls. Welcome to the Procraft Les Paul shootout. What are we going to do today?
So what are we going to do today? We're going to talk about Les Pauls. A little backstory. Back in the early 30s when electric guitars were still coming around, Gibson had this idea of taking a hollow body guitar and adding a pickup to it. And then they kind of improvised on that using a solid block with 2 additional blocks. And eventually a gentleman named Mr. Les Paul, legendary guitar player, came up with this design, this unique design, which is basically a solid body guitar with a neck that's essentially glued on to the guitar with 2 humbuckers. And that revolutionized rock and roll the way we know it. We've known Jimmy Page, Slash, Gary Moore, all your favorite guitar players, even Mark Knopfler, who's known for a Strat, but he also uses a Les Paul. I've seen Eric Clapton use a Les Paul.
Yeah.
So a very iconic guitar in terms of the history of rock and roll.
Yeah, and I think coming back to the Indian scene as well, you see Paras Thakur from the local train, he uses a Les Paul. And this is the type of a guitar, the exact style I think the Les Paul was born in, the type of the color and stuff that it has, like a gold top.
That's the gold top.
So yeah, and there's also another piece of history where, they invented the SG, was also called the Les Paul at a point. The SG that is used by Angus Young of AC/DC, the SG that is used by Iron Maiden and bands like that. So yeah, that guitar also was called the Les Paul, and the maker of the guitar, Mr. Les Paul, did not like that. So eventually they changed the name to the SG, which is a solid guitar from Gibson. So yeah, these are all budget counterparts to the Les Paul. First of all, let's begin with what exactly is a Les Paul. Keegan, you would want to guide them?
So let's start off with just the idea. It's being a solid body with, it's got like mine at least, it has a maple top traditionally. That's how you have, that's what gets you the bright sound. And that's what also, if you look at all your famous guitar players, they had that, that crunch that you get from a Les Paul. To just demonstrate what I mean. So, it's got that 2 humbuckers, fairly simple, and it's got a tail stop that's a hard stop. It's not like a tremolo arm or anything.
Yeah, although you do see some Les Pauls with a Floyd Rose, that's a crime. But yeah, there are many models of it. People like to modify it the way they like it, but traditionally, Les Paul should have a hard piece tail stop.
Hard piece tail stop.
Yeah.
Now most Les Pauls have a slightly thicker neck.
Yep.
Headstock angled towards the back, and we'll come to that. Those various stories about Les Pauls.
And I think a very striking feature is the single cut design. So you have a single cut over here, and then you have a pickup selector over here on top. You have 2 humbuckers, you can go between them, and 4 knobs. So 1 tone, 1 volume for each of them. And Les Pauls generally are notorious for a few things. One being their neck angle. So the angle they have behind the neck is very extreme, and that just makes them very prone to breaking when they fall. So I think here this guitar from HEX, which is the H300, they have added a volute, which solves that problem. So yeah, they have some extra support over here, and the other problem that Les Pauls generally have is with the tuning stability of these strings. So the B and the G strings are kind of unstable with their tuning. The reason being the open book headstock on the Gibson is very wide, and it pulls the string it pulls the strings apart far too much. And there's a lot of friction on the nut because of that, and that just leads to problems. But this one comes with locking tuners, so yeah, that helps solve that a bit.
Yes, now let's talk about the guitars that we have today. So I've got the SC450 by Strydom.
I have got the H300 from HEX. That's the H300 in the other color that it comes in, and this is the H100.
The H100.
Yeah. So if you want to get a Les Paul, get into playing Les Pauls, cheapest that you can go is what? 21,000? 21,000 Indian rupees, and you get this beautiful thing. And then going up from that, you have this around
23,000.
Great. And then these are around?
That's around 32,000.
Great. So 32,000 on sale, you can get them around 30,000?
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
And I think they are going on clearance soon.
This one is on clearance.
Okay, so there's a pretty solid discount on that. If you're looking to buy, the links are in the description. You can check them right away. Well, yeah, other than that, let's talk about some features and what's the difference between most of them. Starting off with the H100. Keegan, would you like
So
to
the
pick that up?
H100 essentially is an all mahogany build guitar. It's got a roasted maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard, pretty standard. It's got ceramic humbuckers on there, and one difference is you'll notice it just has two knobs, so it doesn't have the separate volume and tone for the individual pickups, and the pickup selector switch is here instead of here. So again, this is a slightly modern take on the Les Pauls.
But I think the biggest thing that people need to know about is the bolt-on neck.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, this is a feature that you generally don't see on Les Pauls. Les Pauls are supposed to have glued-in necks, like its bigger brother over here. But the problem with this glued-in thing is that when you start doing this, it inflates the price of the guitar because it's difficult to manufacture it this way. You have to add in a lot of labor. With this, it's just as simple as putting 4 bolts in, and it works like wonders. So yeah, continue, Keegan. I'm sorry.
Yes. So what we're talking about today is the SC450. Coming back to it, this has got a flame maple top, and it's got a laurel fingerboard, which is an interesting feature. Now, the thing about the SC450 is they've really stuck to the traditional make model of the Les Paul. So unlike the HEX, this does not come with any kind of extra support. So hopefully you don't drop this one down. Also doesn't come with locking tuners. Even if you look at the style of the tuners.
They're vintage style
tuners. Same rhythm treble setting.
Yeah, but I love how that one looks.
Absolutely.
I mean, it looks like a classic 57 style honeyburst Les Paul.
Yeah, I mean Jimmy Page kind of style. I do have to mention that this comes with an additional feature of having a coil tap.
Okay, that's great. So you can split the humbuckers?
I can split the humbuckers. I'll just do a little demonstration of that. Now, yep, on rhythm. Straight up, you can hear it. You get a nice thinner sound, and it's interesting to have that option on a Les Paul because it's more of a thing that's associated with the Strat. But having that option is great because when you're on stage and you just want to
if you want like a thinner tone everywhere, you cannot really play a Les Paul, and if you've just got one guitar, it makes sense to have that option if you can. Yeah, but it also at the same time it might be a thing where you just don't like having that option. It feels kind of stupid to have to coil tap. You just want a bassier tone, and that's where HEX has come in with this design. On the H300, it's like a no nonsense Les Paul style guitar. And what I love about this H300 is that they have modernized the Les Paul, taking inspiration from all the different models that are out there. So they have kind of taken inspiration from the ESP Eclipses. If you know, the ESP makes Eclipse models, which are basically a modern take on the Les Paul. This type of a cut, the body design is very similar to that of an Eclipse. In fact, even the neck carve over here, if you notice, it's very smooth. There's absolutely no neck joint that you can feel. It just seamlessly blends into the body. Feels like a neck through design, but it's not. It's just a pasted neck. Also, they have added locking tuners, and that just supports you with better tuning stability. What you also get an added feature with the H300 is the stainless steel frets, which is crazy. So you will probably run out of years playing this guitar and the frets will still be perfect. You would not need another guitar basically for your lifetime. Having stainless steel frets is a great feature. And apart from that, they've kept it really simple and very traditional in its sound, in its approach. They have modernized the design and solved the problems that a traditional Les Paul has, but at the same time, they have kept the feel and the sound very, very traditional. So it has the same a classic Les Paul bite, that crunch, and the thing with Les Pauls is that they are very bassy. right?
Yes,
Compared to something like a Strat. And I just absolutely love it because when you're playing rhythm, it just fills in that place a lot more. There's nothing that can sound like a Les Paul, and this one sounds exactly like what a Les Paul should sound like. So yeah, there is also the color theme that they've gone around with is very traditional. So yeah, you get a binding all around it, and this is a gold top, which, if you know gold tops, they were one of the first finishes that came on a Les Paul, and having a gold top is like a dream for many people, even myself included. I would love to own this guitar. At the same time, if you don't want something like this, there's this one, which is exactly the same thing, but has a complete black finish, kind of a more modern look, more minimalistic, you can call, less vintage looking. So yeah, these are some, I think HEX has definitely nailed it with this one. I also love the attention that they've given. So like the Gibson gold tops also come with similar knobs, and they've changed the knobs on that, on the black one as well. So yeah, these are some great attention to detail that these guitars have got. The only feature which is not so traditional is the roasted maple neck, but why would you mind that? It's better than having a standard mahogany neck. It's going to be more stable and also provides for a better playing feel. So they are just loaded with features, and the guitar is such that they have just minimized everything that could go wrong with a guitar like this. Another great feature which I think we should also mention is with the weight of the Les Paul. Have you ever played like a Gibson?
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I do not want to carry that.
So a Gibson is 5 to 7 kgs in weight. That's how heavy that some of those traditional Les Pauls are. That's because they have like a thick piece or slab of mahogany, and that's what contributes to the sound of a Les Paul. That's the belief. The tone would debate and go on and on forever. But yeah, and then they would have like a thick maple cap. So those guitars are really heavy, but these are kind of thin. So even if you're holding them for a long time, it wouldn't be much of a problem. And I think this once again comes in from the Eclipse inspiration that they have taken. So yeah, I own an Eclipse EC1001. This is very, very similar to that body shape. In fact, almost identical, I would say.
Alright, and another thing I like, HEX has been doing these matte finishes.
Yeah.
So this has also come with I like how they've kept the matte finish at the back, but they've stuck with a gloss
on the top. So yeah, the people who see you playing will see the gloss, but when you're playing it, you have the really nice matte finish that feels fast and won't have your hands stuck on anything.
The H100 has an all matte finish. Again, very interesting.
Another thing is like the H100 has like a flat top.
Yeah.
So this is not, these are like carved. So that's the thing with the Les Pauls, they're carved out like violins. So they have like that, carved top, but this has like a complete flat top. Yeah, but one thing I think these H300s are missing when compared to something like a Gibson Les Paul is that they don't have a maple cap on a top. No maple on top. This is just mahogany carved into the shape. And that's kind of taking away from the traditionalness of the instrument, but at the same time makes it a lot more affordable. This is more like the Les Paul Studio.
Yes, and in that sense, the SC450 by Strydom sticks to that traditional form of what the Les Paul was going for, because it does come with a maple top. It has got a thicker neck as compared to the HEX in your typical Les Paul fashion. So I think the SC450 is really stuck to the traditional Les Paul style, apart from the coil splits, I'd say.
Yeah, shall we get some tones from the SC?
Let's go. So now I'm going to go on to let's start off with the neck pickup. This is what it sounds like. I've got my volume and everything on 10. Now I'm going to just roll off the volume a little bit. Les Pauls being Les Pauls. So you can hear how it really cleans up nicely. And then if I want to go totally crazy.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Zeppelin, of course. Jimmy Page is known for playing a Les Paul. But again, even on the bridge pickup, I'm going to clean it up a little bit.
And sounds very much like the real thing, man.
Like the real thing. And I also noticed, like, when Gary Moore used to play on stage, he just controlled his tone through the volume.
Yeah.
And I love how these volume controls, like, they're really linear. Again, I can go from really nice and clean to. So again, a great feature to have on the guitar is, when you're on stage, you don't want to be clicking pedals and adjusting your volume pedals and stuff like that. So having really good tone pots in here is a necessity.
Yeah.
And the SC450 really nails it. How about your HEX?
Yeah, so the tones on this is the full volume. So it sounds very authentic, like we already discussed. I think this one has more of a mid-range compared to that. This sounds a lot more clear. That's a little bit muddy, and that seems to be a thing with the budget Les Pauls. The budget humbuckers, and sometimes, just the way they are constructed, they are a little muddy. They lack that type of clarity that the higher end models would have. But this one is impressive. The sound that it creates is just so good. Like, you can absolutely rock this out on a big concert day as well, and this has that mid-range that would cut through. It's not muddy at all. It has that bass end, but at the same time it's not muddy. So I'll do some cleans on the bridge pickup. You can see how linear these spots are as well. And then you can do something like an edge of breakup tone. So this is volume around 5, and then you do volume around 7.5, 8.
Nice.
And you get like a really nice crunch tone.
Wow.
And then you have finally like the 10. Which is like, these pickups are hot, man. They are made to rock, so they are hotter than that.
Yes.
And they just do rock really well. And this is like a do-all thing guitar. Going over to the neck, this is volume on like 2.5. You see, it sounds kind of muddy right now. But as you give it some more gain, around 5, it has that really nice quality where it just sings. So if you are doing like a blues solo,
yeah,
it would really help. You were about to play?
Yeah, I was just about to.
So
yeah, again, with these guitars, you always just want to keep jamming.
Exactly.
But, I really love how that it's got that nice real warm tone, that in between, not too hot but not too soft. It's got a really nice sweet spot in there.
Yeah, it's like how an electric guitar should sound.
Yeah.
See, that one has like a lot more bass. This has more of mid-range.
Yeah, it has got.
But yeah, taking it up to 7.5. That's when it starts to, go into the gain territory. And then you are finally on full volume. And you see how great that gain sounds on that guitar. I really like how it's a very granular sounding gain. I don't know how to define it. It just sounds, it has that, how do I say it? It's like a classic rock sound if you have heard Guns N' Roses. It just breaks in really nicely. It's like a Marshall tone, the Marshall Les Paul tone, and it's just crazy good at that. So yeah, these were some tones from this. Let's also hear this, Keegan, the H100,
go through that.
which is the most budget-oriented option that we've got.
All right, so we have the H100 now. Straight up after just picking it up, because I was using the Strydom, I noticed the neck, obviously being the roasted maple, really comfortable to play, and just straight out, even this has got like it's got a very different tone in terms of. So let's go from
more
the
stratty in that way.
It is more
and that's
stratty.
because it's got like a bolt-on neck and like a thinner body.
Thinner body, bolt-on neck, ceramic pickups.
Yeah.
And so let's go. Let's listen to the neck pickup. This is on full volume. Now let's roll off.
Certainly hotter.
Yes. So I've rolled off the volume. And for the price, I mean, I'm getting just incredible range of sound.
Yeah, I like how linear that pot is.
Yeah, and this has definitely got a lot more highs in there. Now let's go to the bridge pickup. And if I roll it off,
that's good, man.
and I'm going to just use both pickups and roll off the volume, and you can notice. Suddenly it's gone strat. It's gone all strat on me.
It's very stratty in its nature, and
yes,
I think that comes from the thin body and the
bolt-on
neck once again. But yeah, I think this is more of like a workhorse guitar.
Yes.
And this, trust me, will sound better when it's in a mix with a lot of other instruments and you are playing live on stage. That type of a sound will just cut through a little better. But at the same time, if you're looking for something that's sounding more traditional to a Les Paul, that's not the sound. But yeah, at 21,000 rupees, if you want something Les Paul style, 2 humbuckers, you've got a great option.
This is this is definitely a hybrid kind of system.
It's far better than what you get from Epiphone and other
absolutely
mainstream brands. I think still you get a roasted maple neck,
and I like this blacked out hardware.
It looks like a rock machine, man. You just take it on stage and rock hard. You don't have to think much. It's a simple control layout, just one volume, one tone, and it's just really simple to use. And
again with the cut, the modern cut.
Like the Eclipse cut.
Yeah. So one thing you wanted to mention was, so Strat bodies are really big. Les Pauls have a smaller body. It's always been a debate. And so if you prefer like a smaller body, especially when you're on stage, again, this guitar is incredibly light.
And this has the correct Les Paul scale length, which is 24 inches. So you get the nice, bending the notes and stuff like that. It's easier on this than it is on a Strat. So you can bend like.
Just talking about the whole body shape and construction, matte finish. It's a complete. There's no top or anything on this. Complete matte finish, very clean setup. I just kind of like the fact that there's nothing on here. And
it's like a rock machine.
Absolutely.
Like an absolute. Just take on stage, tour with the guitar, and then just keep it when it's rugged and all set up nicely.
Yeah, and again bolt-on neck, so
yeah,
good for adjustment.
So let's come to that part where we try justifying each one and why you should buy it. So what do you think? Who is this guitar for?
So this is some guitar for someone who's looking into moving into electrics. Say you're an acoustic guitar player, you've played a few electrics here and there at friends' places, studios, what have you, and you want to get your own guitar and you prefer the Les Paul shape. So this guitar is really great. It's really great for its price. You're getting really good quality pickups on here. These are ceramic humbuckers. You're getting a linear volume control, and again you're getting this really hot output that you can drive. That can drive a tube amp or any kind of pedals that you have or processors. It's got a volute, so you're getting that headstock stability. Bolt-on neck. So a really good entry-level guitar for someone who's starting to play live, starting to just explore the depths of rock and roll.
Also, another thing I feel is, it's a lot lighter than a normal traditional Les Paul style guitar, and that just makes it a lot more easier if you're a beginner. Has simple controls as well.
Yep.
And it is made in Indonesia. So that's a big factor. The quality is there, and it comes from the HEX factory, which is just renowned for producing great instruments. And it's going to last you a very, very long time getting this instrument. It's a great way to get into a Les Paul.
Absolutely.
Let's move over to the Strydom Magna SC450.
450.
Yes, so this one over here. If you're getting this guitar, it's probably because you want a guitar that looks a whole lot like the traditional big boy Les Pauls, okay? The expensive ones. So for this you get a flame maple veneer which has that exact look. The exact aesthetic that you have, the color, finish and everything else is just perfect. You get vintage looking tuners. So it's just something that if you are a big fan and you care a lot about having a traditional looking Les Paul, if that inspires you, this guitar is definitely for you. At the same time, it's only a little more expensive than that. But this is something which you would prize, like you would keep this carefully, you will polish it from time to time, keep it very clean. Whereas that one, you would put in a gig bag and just take it, not thinking much about it at all. It's completely gloss, it's like a workhorse guitar. This is more of a showpiece looking thing, right? So you can decide for yourself what suits your purposes. Apart from that, another great feature is the coil tap. So yeah. Moving over to the H300 from HEX.
Yes, so the H300 is a guitar that I'm personally looking at as well. The reason being is it kind of fixes all the flaws that are there on a traditional Les Paul with the tuning and stuff. Also, just the high output of it makes it a really nice gainy guitar. I love the construction, just HEX again. HEX really knows how to build their guitars. So it's very convenient. The neck is, again, it's got a slightly slimmer neck, which is something that I prefer, personal preference. But if you're someone who wants to have a Les Paul but not happy with some of the features like the thick neck, tuning instability, HEX kind of fixes that with the H300. And again, Alnico 5 pickups on there.
Yeah, I think this guitar is for somebody who is already a good musician. If you're a pro musician, you do a lot of gigs, and you just want something that is great, that replaces, that's like a Les Paul Gibson killer. This absolutely comes in that spot, and it costs like what, 10th of the price?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like 10% of the price you would pay for a Gibson Les Paul, but you're getting almost 85% of the features, and even more with some things like the locking tuners, the easy access neck joint, the modern body shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just you get the stainless steel frets as well. So at around 30,000 rupees, this guitar makes loads and loads of sense. In fact, I think if anything, if you have the money, just don't go for these two and go for this one, because this is a lot better than both of them. This is just literally a dream come true, and you get the gold top, you've got the black, you've got some other colors as well, and this is a really, really great guitar, guys. You won't need another guitar if you get this one.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's end off with a quick jam.
Alright.
So yeah, let's switch around the guitars a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's end off on the budget ones. So we started off on the expensive ones.
Wait.